By now, you probably know that the US has bombed Iran in an attempt to rid them of their nuclear weapons. But how did we get here? What started with a landmark nuclear deal, a dramatic withdrawal, and a second chance blown apart by bombs. This is how the US Iran nuclear diplomacy unraveled once again. Let's rewind to 2015. Under President Barack Obama, the United States and 5 other world powers, the UK, France, Russia, China, and Germany, signed the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the JCPOA, with Iran. The deal was designed to significantly limit Iran's nuclear capabilities in exchange for relief from international sanctions. Among its key terms, Iran agreed to cap uranium enrichment at 3.67% for 15 years, far below the weapons grade level of 90%. They also agreed to cut their enriched uranium stockpile from 10,000 kilograms to 300 kilograms. There were restrictions to the type of centrifuges they could use, and they were barred from conducting enrichment at the underground Fordo facility, which was bombed over the weekend. To ensure compliance, Iran accepted the additional protocol of the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, granting inspectors round-the-clock access to nuclear sites. In exchange, the UN, EU, and US lifted nuclear-related sanctions, unfreezing billions in assets and reopening Iran's access to global oil and finance markets. The JCPOA also extended Iran's breakout time for producing bomb-grade material from a few months to at least 1 year. Now, why did President Donald Trump withdraw the US from the deal? We officially exited the JCPOA on May 8, 2018, labeling it a terrible one-sided deal that benefited Iran much more than the US. President Trump argued that the agreement was the worst ever and defective at its core, claiming that it provided sunset clauses that would eventually allow Iran to resume enrichment without oversight, and it failed to address ballistic missiles, regional behavior, or Iran's support for militant proxies. Trump also cited long-standing Israeli and Saudi criticisms, claiming that Iran had used the relief from sanctions to bankroll terrorism and military operations across the Middle East. At the time, President Trump vowed to apply maximum pressure by reimposing sanctions on Iran's oil, banking, and shipping industries, aiming to force Iran into renegotiating a more comprehensive deal. President Trump goes on to give the Iranians 2 weeks to negotiate, and only 2 days later bombs the 3 nuclear sites, calling it a necessary operation to rid the Middle East of a bully with nuclear weapons. Let me know your thoughts.